Hey, everybody, welcome back to a special episode of Social Selling Made Simple. As you can tell, I'm not your host, Marky Lemons. I am the producer, Matt Johnson, back once again because we're sharing another in our series of Facebook Lives. Now, we're sharing these from Marky's personal Facebook account. If you can follow her there, you may have seen some of these, or you may have seen similar videos that she's done. And we wanted to pull out the best of those and share them here on the podcast because they're amazing content. We know you're going to enjoy it and really fits the point of view of the show. And so if you're not following Marky on Facebook, make sure that you're doing that. And just notice that when we jump into the conversation with Marky, you will hear her give shout outs and personal comments to people. That's because there were actually people watching this video live and interacting and commenting with Marky while she was recording. So if you would like to do that, make sure that you head on over to Marky on Facebook and follow her there so that you can do the same thing if you like. And then we'll get to the end and I will have a special request for you. But let's jump in right into the conversation with Marky. Let's keep going on this special series of Facebook Lives.
Good morning, Facebook Live. What's going on today? This is your girl, Marky Lemons-Ryhal, real estate keynote speaker and Facebook Live host. And let me tell you something, baby. I'm up this morning. Yes, just got off a fabulous call with some of my fellow realtor peeps from the East Coast. Their call started at 8 a.m., which means my call started at 7 a.m. Hey, Auntie Mill, what's going on, Linda? How you doing today, darling? So I told you for 20 days, I'm going to try to do a series called You Can't Tell Me Nothing. And I was like, man, am I going to have this same momentum this early? But the call I just got off was fabulous. I think we had 14 people on the call. And so when you can get 14 people on the call this early in the morning and they're engaged, honey, baby, bye. It brings your energy up. Hey, Frankie. Hey, Rhonda. How you doing today? So in my series, I am telling you about things that people have told me I could not do and how I've overcome those hurdles. But in the process, I'm telling you something that I don't think that you know about me. So in the first session, we talked about the fact that I sucked my thumb. I still don't remember which thumb. I think it might have been this right thumb, but then I'm trying to think, how did I write and suck this thumb? Anyway, today I'm going to talk about something that I don't think everybody knows. One of the reasons that I am good in sales is because I have been trained by the #1 pharmaceutical company in the world. Yes, I did work for Pfizer Pharmaceuticals. So let me give you a little background. I decided that I was burned out from loan originating. So in November of 2001, I said that I was going to go and get me a real job, right? Now, let me say this. In the world of real estate, I absolutely hate it when people act like this is not a real job. It don't get no more real than real estate. But people are always going to leave. And the thing they say, because they could not survive this world of entrepreneurship, is I'm going to go get me a real job. So I was going to go and get me a real job. But the goal was that I would still be able to sell real estate. So I wanted to have real estate as my side hustle. I know this story sounds too familiar. And I was going to be a pharmaceutical sales rep. Now, the reason for being a pharmaceutical sales rep was because I wanted the company car. I wanted the 401k matching, and I wanted the benefits. So when I decided to go and get the job, the first thing I realized was that my resume was geared towards marketing. I'm going to tell you now, you can take a skill and transform it. There was a book at the Chicago Public Library. It was this little red square book. It was like really this size, okay? Kind of looked like this. I had checked this book out. That book I followed to the T. I rewrote my resume. I had to go find this because I still have it till this day. Oh God, I got to use 2 hands to pick this sucker up. In the book, to get the job in pharmaceutical sales, it says that you need to create a brag book. So I got a brag book now, baby, and I don't even know what to do with this brag book. But every thank you note, flyer, accommodation, sales awards is all in this brag book, okay? Because I wanted me a job in pharmaceutical sales. So I go to the library, I get the red book. But now this is where things start to happen. My mother, who I'm going to tell you was the most optimistic, could make anything happen person, says to me, Marky, you don't know anything about pharmaceutical sales. How you think you're going to get a job in farm sales? And this was right after 9/11. I looked at my mother. I said, I'm getting a job in farm sales, and I am going to have a job in farm sales by February the 1st. Okay. Lo and behold, I did not get the job in farm sales by February the 1st, but Pfizer did hire me on February the 14th. Now, I had prepared myself. I rewrote my resume, okay? First thing, I networked with people in the industry. Not only did I get a job in farm sales, I received the highest salary in my training class because, according to my resume, I had the most years of sales experience with the most education. Now, this is where things get funny because people need you to fit the square box they want to put you in. My hair was shorter. It was actually shaved at the time. It was extremely short. So I see a guy, he in farm sales, but he didn't get a job at Pfizer. I would call him like he worked at a second tier pharmaceutical sales company. He looked me up and down. How you get a job at Pfizer? I said, because I can sell snow to a snowman is how I got a job at Pfizer. What are you trying to say? And it was because I didn't fit the image. And let me be clear, I was not the image of a pharmaceutical sales rep. Everyone thinks tall, slender, blonde hair, right? When I got my photo back from my training class of the Alta division of Pfizer Pharmaceuticals, everybody in the picture, right, with exception for me and Leon, you had all these lean, skinny white folks. And then at the end, the picture dipped off, right, because you know I'm short. And you saw this little round circle at the end. This is going to crack you up. I didn't even realize I was fat or overweight until I went to go work for Pfizer, okay? It wasn't until I saw that picture, and then you couple that with the fact that I'm going into all these doctors' offices, and everybody got a morbid obesity chart. So every doctor's office that a doctor was not ready to see me, I'm stepping on the scale and checking my height and looking at my BMI, right? And I'm like, ooh, girl. So let me say this. Honestly, I didn't even know I was overweight or fat. I mean, I know what the doctor said, but on the south side of Chicago, I was just fitting in, boo. I really wasn't overweight. I know. So 2 things you know about me. I didn't know I was overweight until I went to go work for Pfizer Pharmaceuticals. So what ended up happening? I absolutely hated farm sales. 100% hated farm sales. And I was thinking to myself, because I wasn't married, Skylar had become accustomed to a certain lifestyle. So I went from the family business to loan origination to Pfizer. And I really didn't know what to do. And I'm going to tell you what my mother told me then. My mother, the same person who asked me how was I going to get this job in farm sales, she told me, she says, Marky, clearly you can always go get another job. Quit. And that's exactly what I did. But not only was I prepared to enter into the world of farm sales by reading books, networking, when I left Pfizer, I had only been at Pfizer roughly 15, 16 months. I went February 2002, left September 2003. Okay, so yeah, what, about 18 months, something like that? I left with $25,000 because I invested 15% day one 401k matching, and that's how I started Homes to Sell. So you can't tell me nothing. I have been in real estate since 1999, came in as a loan originator. Reason I left pharmaceutical sales because I couldn't get my side hustle on the way I wanted to get my side hustle on. Oh, I got to tell you this. So when I leave Pfizer, right, December of 2003, I generated $24,000 in gross close commission. And I did the math in my head, and I said, do you know how long I would have to work in farm sales in order to get $24,000 a month in gross anything? And I said, oh, I will never go back. And I have never left real estate or taken a sabbatical or made it my side burner ever again once I made that much money in a month. And guess what? I had just started my company. I started my company in July, left Pfizer in September. That December was when I made the $24,000. And then in 2004, I was in the top 10% of realtors and did $12 million in volume. That's probably a whole nother story. So you can't tell me nothing. Don't let anyone tell you what you can't do. But let me be clear with you. You can't be no lazy butt person. All right. Their preparation is essential to success, whether that's through affirmations, whether that's through mentoring, whether that's through networking, whether that's through getting a different designation, certification, or a license. But you can't tell your girl, Marky Lemons-Ryhal, not a thing, baby, because I'm seeing it just manifest itself all around me. I want you guys to have a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. And let me say this. I know I didn't come here yesterday. Look, between them shots they gave me on Monday, and then they hit me with another 14 yesterday, I was exhausted. And my cousin woke me up and made me go out last night. If you need anything, please feel free to inbox me. Love to hear your successes, but don't let nobody tell you nothing. Talk to you guys later.
Hey, it's Matt Johnson again. Thanks so much for checking out this special episode of Social Selling Made Simple. No, it's a little bit different, but make sure to follow Marky so you can get these types of videos and content anytime that she's out there doing these things kind of on the fly. And if you're enjoying the podcast, there's a few different ways to get it. So if you're already on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, make sure that you're subscribed so that those episodes download to your phone automatically. Stitcher is another way to get it if you're on an Android phone. If you are more interested in reading the blog posts or watching the YouTube videos, you can go right to the website, or you can go over to the YouTube channel and you can see all the past episodes and highlight clips there. If you're really enjoying it, we'd love for you to do us a favor. Head on over to Apple Podcasts, just pull the app up or go to iTunes on your desktop while it still exists as a thing. But basically just go to Apple Podcasts and pull up the show and leave a 5-star review. And if there was a particular guest where you really enjoyed their episode, make sure to give them a shout out in your review because we love to pass that on to the guests. So with that said, thanks again so much for listening to this special episode of Social Selling Made Simple.